What's going on, everybody? Professor Murph here, and I am talking about Jon Malin's Godlike. Now, I had the privilege of working on the supplemental book for this series. It's a beautiful book. It's a really interesting world he's creating. This is Visions 2. This is a supplemental book that has characters from different IPs. As you can see, I did a double-page spread for War Party in this. What's cool about this is I created this image for this book, but I liked it so much I decided to expand it and end up using it as the cover of issue 6 of the War Party miniseries. Alright, so what am I talking about? I'm talking about the story I worked on for the Godlike supplemental, which was, the story is called Engine, and it's a Western. And Jon had contacted me because he had seen my work on War Party and knew that I like to draw horses and I'm big on history, so he thought I'd be the right candidate for this story. There are 2 stories in here. The other one is by the great Clayton Barton. As you know, Korey from his campaigns and his How to Draw Comics channel on YouTube. So, just want to go through how, if you ever wondered how comic books are done, this is a couple pages of the script provided by Jon Malin and Mark Polton. And what I liked about the way this was written is it was very descriptive, and I'm going to show you that right here. For example, some scripts are very vague and they'll just say, you know, such and such happens, you know, the guy fires the gun in this panel or whatever, and they just leave it kind of open to interpretation. That can work sometimes, but when you need specifics, this script did a great job of that. For example, right here when Mark talks about panel 2, and he says the camera is closer to the ground and village, but still up about 20 feet. So he's already giving me an angle how high the camera is going to be. We see several Indian men in the distance carrying torches to light several bonfires throughout the village. We see the people doing various things beyond them. The wood for the various bonfires are several feet high, spaced throughout the area. It's party tonight. So there's a lot happening in this one panel, and trying to break all that down and make that work can be a challenge. So if you see here in the opening, I wanted to give a real long panel to show a sense of scale. You know, you've got the canyon back here and the camp. But everything that he asked for, I had to make sure and provide in each panel. For example, you've got, he wanted a woman carrying a clay pot or like a vase. He wanted a wagon with food and supplies being unloaded. A lot of times these are things that are done one at a time. In other words, you don't generally want to show more than one action in a panel unless you're creating some type of atmosphere or setting. And if they're not main characters, for example, I mean, you could watch a movie and see a scene like this where there's a lot of things going on and there's a focus, but everyone's doing something. They're not just standing there like props. So yeah, the description was very helpful. You know, he talked about how you wanted to see women with their babies and things, so you know, have them interacting. There was a description where he wanted them trying on clothing that had been brought over from the east, so you see them doing that, and you know, kids playing in the background. It's all about setting up the environment and the scene. This type of figure work, George Perez would do this a lot when it came to dense figure work in a scene. So yeah, it was a really exciting comic to work on. This was another scene where he had a description of the character ripping out of the flesh. So you have this skeletal cyborg type zombie character, and he's transforming. This is a very fun scene to draw. A lot of growing up watching werewolf movies and practical effects in the 1980s, like The Thing. I was able to pull from some of that and imagine how something like this would look. Obviously, the key with doing comic books is when you want to depict action, is you want things to feel like they're moving, because it's a static medium, obviously. So it's having something looking like it's in motion is something that's very important if you can capture that. I really like the way these panels turned out, this whole sequence. Of course, this was a big double-page spread. this made the rounds on social media and on my channel. This is after the zombies have transformed and they're charging down the hill. It's always fun doing battle scenes. I love it. Horses, action, gunfire. Arm is suddenly transforming into a gun arm. Think biomechanical at first, then solid metal. Blue electricity, like energy coming off the gun arm, wrapping around him. Now, once again, that's a lot of stuff to depict in one panel. Usually a transformation, you're going to want to have a panel, and then it changes, but 2 or 3 or 4 or even more, 5 or 6 panels it could be. It could be a whole page of a transformation. But in this case, he needed it all done in one panel. So how did I handle that? Well, if you go here, now this was a pretty dense page because you're talking 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 panels, right? But here's the panel I was talking about, where the arm transformation. So he points, and then what I ended up doing is I just drew the arm twice in the same panel. So you've got the arm here, the hands are morphing into the gun, and then it's a full transformation, and then it envelops his whole body. So you can do that sometimes. You can put almost like animation cells where it goes from one to the other in the same panel, and that is a way to handle something like that. And then of course we get the big reveal with the gun and everything. And then right out of, Akira or classic anime, boom, you get this massive, or Badoom. Great lettering by Eric Weathers, by the way. Colors are great too. There were 2 versions of this. One was warm and one was cool. And I saw both of them, and he went with the cool, which makes sense because the gun and the electricity is all in cool colors, so why wouldn't the explosion be cool as well? Plus we had some warm explosions earlier when the TNT got blasted. Another example when you can use a long vertical panel to depict something. But this was a fun story to illustrate. Love that. And this was another description in the panel. He wanted to see one of the zombies being trampled by a horse. So I put the camera low to the ground. You got the horse's leg, and then you have the other zombies charging. One there and one there in the background. And the dog is crying back there. She must be having a bad dream. I have to go comfort my dog, wake her up. That's the story engine from the Godlike supplemental. Had a blast working on it. It was 32 pages, so no small task. Took several months to complete, but got it done, got it in on time, and Jon was happy with it. And it sounds like the readers, the backers, are happy with it. It's getting good reviews, especially for a supplemental. And if you like my work and you want to see more of what I do, check out War Party. Campaign is climbing the mountain to 100K. That would be great if we could hit 100,000, especially for a first comic campaign by a creator like myself that does not have a big social media or YouTube presence. I do not have a large subscriber base, so the fact that this book has gone as far as it has is, I think, testament to the quality of the book, and also it's thanks to larger channels like Jon's that have helped promote it and had me on in the past, and that's what this network is all about. All right, talk to you later.
What possesses us to give ourselves completely, even risking death in order to save another? This war will be costly, and we face enemies on all sides. It seems this young nation, forged by the colonials, has met an early end. Though I hold many Americans in high regard, their rulers have proved to be little better than the English. I thought them to be dead. I thought they had returned to the realm that gave them their dark magic. But they are here, and they are here for me. I can sense it. They wanted to break me. It seems the inventors of this age have harnessed their own form of magic. It is called electricity, and it can light up a room without the use of fire. Motor cars have also appeared. It has been called the Mothers of Darkness Castle. I cannot speak of the horrors committed here, nor can I even write on how I found myself inside its closed. There is a murderer on the loose. They call him the 44 caliber killer. People are scared, angry, and directionless. I see them in the nightclubs. This place is evil. I can feel it. Many children have disappeared in the country over the past 3 decades. How many ended up here? How many were offered up to unseen forces? Presenting Diani's War Diary, a beautiful hardback edition to add to your War Party collection. It's 40 pages of original art with an embossed cover and gold foil stamping. Inside lie the secrets that I have kept throughout the centuries, secrets of my power and the mysteries of this world. Understand the events that unfolded through my eyes, the Spanish quest for the Fountain of Youth, the wars between the French and the English, the new American nation, a tragic civil war, and the birth of a new century, and beyond. This is America's story. This is my story. This is Diani's War Diary.
Everything changed when war reached the Americas. Caught between the French and the British, my family paid the price. Only my darling Sarah survived. They took her away. We couldn't save them, but we will save her. 5 men against thousands, how can it be done? But we are not merely men. War has brought out the beast in us all. And we will have our vengeance, for we are
the War Party.